All right, all right, all right. Transparency in the chair, let me tell you, has nothing to do with hair, but stories that derive from the chair.
My name is Rae. My co-pilot is Kay. We are two hairstylists with over 50 years of combined industry experience, ownership, platform artistry, salon education, and mentorship. We are both two sages that have stories to tell.
All right, and you know how juicy it can get. It could be any chair. Think about any chair that you sit on. There's a story in the chair.
With authentic and transparent moments, we are bringing you the juice to you, along with our perspectives, of course.
This is what we're bringing to you every week with confidence and knowledge and nuggets that you will leave this podcast with so much inner feelingness, so much knowledge, so much power, empowerment. So tune in every week and we're going to drop the nuggets on you with special guests from time to time. So don't miss out. Join in to Transparency in the Chair.
All right.
Hey, girl.
Hey, sister.
Oh, my God.
It's been a minute. We got to come to the table.
Ciao. Coming to the table.
Coming to the table with
I like the table.
You got the juice today?
I got juice tea.
We got the juice today.
Yeah, spillage.
Spillage, transparency in the chair. Welcome.
Yes.
We got a doozy for you today. We always looking to educate our viewers and listeners. Today's topic is boundaries versus control in friendships.
And relationships.
And it looks like we have another wonderful, beautiful guest today.
Oh, my lovely TT here.
Hey,
one
TT.
of my beautiful
Hi.
clients that really, it was last week. She was like, Miss Kay, I got a thing.
Yeah.
I said, save it for the podcast because what you're talking about, I've heard it.
Yeah.
It's a constant,
Yeah.
especially now in society. Man, the pandemic did a lot of things. Either it
messed us up.
Did it really mess us up, or did it really reveal who people really are and what's really going on inside of people?
Yeah. I think, it allowed us to get a closer look at to what it really looks like when they say people, when they show you themselves, you believe them.
Yes.
And we had a chance to be up close and personal to believe these people.
Right. And experience it.
Yes. And we also have a clinical psychologist on deck, Dr. Sam. She is off screen, but she will be chiming in.
Yes, I will.
Yes, she will.
As well as we always get our male perspective from Mr. Jonathan.
Mr. Jonathan.
Yes.
I'm ready to learn how to say something.
Yes.
Well, what's the difference?
Right.
Boundaries versus control. So what was the situation, TT?
All right. So
Let it out.
about 2 weeks ago, one of my friends, and I've been knowing this girl since high school. So we go back. She's been there for me. I've been there for her. We've done family trips together, at least, her with my family. And so we have a really close-knit bond. At least that's how I, viewed the relationship.
Yeah.
But about 2 weeks ago,
Uh-oh.
she texted
got the
me.
receipts.
Yeah. She texted me
Jeez.
about one of her cousins who she's introduced me to him multiple times. We actually hung out before all together in group settings. Like
Okay.
she's invited him. So I'm like, okay, cool. He like family, let's go. So I'm gonna just do a little background for this scenario here. But basically me and him, we went to go to Battle of the Bands, right? That happened in August at NRG. I bought my tickets first, and then he ended up buying his seats next to me. I didn't ask him. I just was asking, is he going to the event? And because we were both interested in it. So happened we got our seats together, and I was with him for, maybe 2 hours at the event, and it was great. HBCUs, I love to see the performances with the bands, plus, being going to Prairie View. I'm like, I already know about that.
TV?
Yes.
You know.
Although I did get my bachelor's at U of H in hospitality.
That's
where I
fine.
graduated from. But, I
fine.
still was,
Yes.
out there,
Yes, of course.
Pond girl, I was there.
Okay.
So, fast forward. So, she just texted me this this was last Thursday. She says, so, hey, you be inviting my cousin out. This was a question. I said, yeah, we went to Battle of the Bands. That was the only thing because we were both interested in it. I told him we all need to catch up again. I think when we went to Battle of the Bands, you were out of town. She says, I'm not entirely comfortable with that. He is my cousin. You're my friend. I'd rather keep those separate. I get along well with your aunt, but I wouldn't invite her out or hang out with her without you. I said, okay, noted.
Let me take a sip of this.
So And I was at work when all this happened. So I'm like, I had to kind of sit there at my desk like, what? You know? So I'm getting angry. And I end up texting her.
Yeah, because what?
Yeah. I texted her. I said, I will respect your wishes. I don't have to talk to, see, nor speak to your cousin if it bothers you so much. I thought we were all cool. We wanted to go to the same event. Happens you were out of town. You've been gone. You've been busy and gone. But it's cool, though. I said, your tone with me is inappropriate.
Hello.
I'm not your student. I graduated, sweetheart. We are all adults. FYI, because she was a teacher.
I was about to ask you, so was she an educator? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, let me see. Okay, yeah. I graduated. I said, we are all adults. I don't care if you hang out with my family, with or without me. I actually like it when all my friends and family get along and hang out. IDK, WTF going on, but we can fix it real quick. I don't like this at all.
So the IDKs, I don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
She said, IDK, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't know what, okay.
Yeah.
IDK, WTF.
Yeah. I had to put it all in there real quick because I was getting mad.
Yes.
So then she goes, how is my tone inappropriate? Talking about the text. And I said, you talk to me like a child. I don't like it.
Yeah.
She goes on, how? I responded to that same text where she says, I'm not entirely comfortable, this is my cousin, you're like separating the two. I was like, I don't like the tone of this message right here, teacher. I do not like your tone with me. IDK, WTF, the problem is, but it's going to get fixed. So I had to say that again.
Yes.
And then I told her, I said, texting is not good when you're trying to get a point
Absolutely.
across. You could have called or FaceTimed me.
Mm-hmm.
So then she goes, just being you, talking about me, don't like what I said doesn't mean I was being inappropriate. I didn't curse or use any appropriate languages with you. I communicated a boundary that you clearly didn't like. But right now, you're clearly trying to come at my left by reiterating all the things I said to her in the text message, such as, I don't have to see or speak to your cousin, and I'm not your student. I graduated, She reiterated all that, and then she goes, if you want me to go off and come at you crazy or inappropriate, I will, because you're clearly being disrespectful. I told her, girl, bye, have a nice day, because I was upset at that point, right?
Yeah.
I hit the cousin up. I told him, I said, I don't know what's wrong with your cousin, but apparently she doesn't like when we hang out together. Last time I checked, we were all adults. I never had an issue with you or her. When we went to Battle of the Bands, that was in August, and she was out of town or something. I actually wanted all of us to catch up and get together again. I did not appreciate her tone with me when explaining how she didn't want us hanging out without her. I didn't know that was a bad or wrong thing to do. Anywho, I wish you all well. Thanks for the laughs and great times, because I was pretty much done with it by then. He replies, he said, yeah, so that's why I held off on answering these last few messages from you. I knew that after I mentioned us going to Battle of the Bands, it was an issue for her, and I didn't want her to feel like I was sneaking behind her back and hanging with her people, so I said something. Didn't initially know it would ever be an issue. So when you hit me up about hanging out again, I brought it up to her just in regular conversation we were having today, and that's why she texted you. I assume is to keep her personal business private so you don't accidentally tell me something she didn't want me to know, which I understand. I don't necessarily agree with her decision, which I've told her, but I respect it and I want to just keep the peace. And so I was like, y'all can have that. I'm done. I wouldn't even tell her personal business like that to you or anybody. That's dumb. I don't know what she hiding, but y'all can have it. Thanks again for being cool. Because it was adding up to me. I screenshotted all this and sent it to her. I said, fix, done, y'all weird. And then she tells me, she says, you're weird and erratic. Get your shit together. That's what she tells me. We're going back and forth in emojis. I sent the FU sign. She said FU too.
Oh, damn, it went there?
Yeah. So, that same day, I texted her. I said, I'm not happy with you in this moment. I feel like you hiding. You don't trust me. I would never discuss you behind your back with anyone. And I spoke to your cousin in light of you, wanting all of us to hang out again. All, as in 3 of us.
Right.
Not couple, not just, me and him, but myself, your cousin, and you included. I don't know what's going on with y'all, but I was fine with him and you, at least I thought. The only thing I can apologize for is cursing. Other than that, I meant what I said.
Period.
And then I said, oh yeah, I meant what I said. We grown. This is ridiculous. I can respect a boundary. I don't like when someone is trying to control something and that's what this situation feels like. I wouldn't plot with you. I wouldn't plot with your cousin about you. I said, we hung out that one time in August and I wanted you there too. You were gone and I have not seen your cousin since. I've been wanting all of us to get together, but oh well, guess that's past. I have enjoyed you in my life as a friend. I think you're a beautiful, amazing person. I'm here whenever you want to talk, but if not, I understand.
Well done.
So, y'all like, this was all on a Thursday. And I'm like,
on what day?
Somebody's thirsty for something because I was like, what is going on? And what did I do?
I should have took notes. There's so much stuff.
It's okay. I got
Because I was like, I'm trying to remember this, remember that.
Yeah.
Right.
The biggest question
Dr.
for
Samantha,
me,
please.
Yes.
Please.
for me. And so I used to work with children who have different disabilities. Not to say this is what's going on. I'm just trying to build the background. And one of the things that we did to help children to recognize their own emotions is we would ask what's called WH questions. So instead of assuming that I know what they're saying, because this back and forth is definitely a buildup of, it's like we're seeing a reel in our head that's not there, right? So it's almost like that question about, you said something about fear. What is it that you're fearing? That's a valid question. Yeah. Like, what is it that is, like, what's going on? Like, can you tell me what you think I meant? Like, for instance, when I'm giving an instruction to my child, I ask them to repeat it so that I can make sure that I understood. So if you're like, hey, I need for you to go 2 lefts and a right. Oh, okay, so what you said is you need me to go 2 lefts and a left? No, that's not what I said. So then, okay, clarify for me. And the horrible thing about this day and age is that we want everything, we do everything text. And text absolutely does not convey the heartbeats, the thing that's coming up, the physical elements. So there's got to be a point when we recognize our boundaries is to, like, I'm going to put this down and say, hey, at 3 o'clock, I'm going to call you. Kind of like what Medea did at 3 o'clock. Meet me at the playground. We're going to have to do a playground meet. Because there's just too much going on, and I have questions.
Right.
And that's a boundary. Because you're recognizing something is off. I need to talk to you, or I feel like there's something more going on. And communication is not everyone understands communication. Just because we're going back and forth doesn't mean we understand it. Communication also includes listening. And not many people know how to listen. Because this is a skill. You actually have to learn how to listen.
Yes, that's a skill.
You have to learn how to listen. And you can tell from just the back and forth, what I really applaud you for is you kept emphasizing, this is why I'm going back. Let me tell you why. You maintained your consistency. What was interesting, she didn't respond to that.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's something you could have hooked her up, like, hey, you're still not responding to that. What do you think about what I just said? Right. I said it like 3 times in the text. Yeah. You literally said it over and over, and there was no response to that. So that's where that communication piece, like, did she hear me? Mm-hmm. Or was she seeing an argument in her head and she was just ready to get back?
Right.
Because
people only address the things that they don't like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I ain't like, I'm going to address that part.
Right. Like, that's all you heard.
I don't care what else you said. I'm going to talk about the part that I don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not a valid point, but the part that I don't like.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just humans as a whole. It is a thing. Like, it is borderline a control thing. Like, I don't want you hanging out with my person unless I'm around or whatever. Why?
Yeah, because
clarify
what's the harm?
It's like, but what is that?
I still don't know.
Right.
You still don't know, but
like, granted, me and her, we talk. And it's cool, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, do I want to, like, we gonna be 40 years old. Do I want to argue with you about meeting your sister behind your back because we trying to plan you like a surprise birthday party or something? So that's what's gonna happen.
But here's my question. Because me, I want to know the back, like, what is really the source of the problem? Is he single and you're single?
He's gay and Muslim. So there's nothing I can do with that.
So
Trust.
I'm like, What's the problem?
Ooh,
What's the threat?
I don't know.
It's almost as if it was like she felt threatened. You can't. I mean, is he a fugitive? Is she trying to hide? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why I said hiding or you don't trust me, because this situation, I would never do her like that with my family. And if we're being clear, because I mentioned the situation to her, she still ain't never answered me. We went to Vegas, maybe about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. She takes a gummy, and it overwhelmed her. And she did this with my aunt, her son, and his girlfriend and friends. Then these people, we're talking about, me and her are 30, my aunt is 40, in her 40s, and my cousins in their 20s. So it's like you're out with them, y'all taking drugs, and you come back to the hotel room, you're higher than a kite, and you don't know how to handle it.
Paranoid.
Then she gets upset with me saying I left her in the hotel room because she felt like she was dying. And I was like, I asked if you wanted ice cream. I was like, I was going to get you ice cream, water, food, because I know how I go. Like, I've been there, done that, and I know how to contain myself. And I had a dinner reservation at Strip House in Vegas that I was going to make for my birthday. I'm hungry. Like, come on. What's going on? And I told her, I said, you need to just get dressed, come with us. Once you eat, you'll be fine. Yeah. No, oh my God, I can't stop laughing. Like, she was doing all this. And I said, yeah, okay, well, I'm about to dip. Yeah. We get back home. So we go to Vegas in July. She didn't tell me how upset she was till like October or something, like months after the fact. And we did not talk for months because it's like, why didn't you tell me this, how you felt when, you know,
in the deal.
So I give her space, and, you know, I apologize to her because I never want my friends to feel like I abandoned them, because that's how I felt like she was trying to spin a narrative. But I'm like, no, at the end of the day, I didn't hold a gun to your head and tell you to take gummies with my family. Right. But if we're being clear, when you talk about boundary, that's crossing the boundary with me. Because I wouldn't go do drugs with your family without you. Like, right. And I told her that. I said, if you want to be clear on that, that's what you did to me. But I didn't even make it a big deal. I didn't care. Like, I was still having a good time in Vegas.
So
like,
how long have y'all been friends? Is this
since
like
high school.
Okay.
So since high school, I've been on her for a long time. And so even with the whole family situation, she's been around my family for years. She's done family trips with me and everything. So I'm just trying to think, like, why would you think, I don't know what you thinking, you know, what I would discuss with your cousin, let alone we wouldn't even talk about you. Because I'm like, the world is too big. Battle of the Bands was too big to even be mentioning you in a negative light. And I told her that too. So then she goes on to explain.
But she should trust you. Not to.
It's a trust factor.
Because if you guys have been friends for that long, are y'all best friends? Or y'all just good friends?
I consider her a best friend.
Okay, so then if she was your true best friend, she should trust that whatever feel or whatever threat that she has, it wouldn't be compromised. Mm-hmm. Right?
Like, I know my place in her life. I know her cousin's place in her life. Like,
you truly know your place in her life.
Uh-oh.
Do you really know your place?
Well, I guess I don't now because of this.
Because, I mean, think about it. For someone with longevity of knowing in a relationship, there's usually a pattern that you recognize. And you had even mentioned, you even kind of brought it up, this is something we've been through before. She's done this before. Mm-hmm. So in essence, you are actually following a very destructive pattern. You noticed it, but you coddled it. And then it came to the point where she's not getting her way, which it seems like that's what it looks like, that I'm compartmentalizing everything. You are this person, you don't mingle with them. Mm-hmm. You are this person, you don't mingle with them. It's almost like she wants to keep you guys in your own little Barbie box. I don't know.
Is that control?
It's evidence of control, but it's also evidence of, like, an illusion or paranoia, in a sense, of putting people together because they're trying to go against me. Right. Which that's what it kind of sounded like. Mm-hmm. And sadly, that mentality, it's warped. Mm-hmm. And there's no clear understanding of what does a friend look like. Is it a friend that you can control? That means you're my friend if I can control you. Or you're not my friend because you won't let me control you. Which is kind of what it feels like. That's what happened. You decided, I am done being controlled by you. I see your game. I'm pointing it out. This hurts me, but she's not looking at your emotions. She's looking at her point of view, which is you screwed up. Mm-hmm. You should have known better. Mm-hmm.
Pick me. I think Dr. Samantha should take my seat right quick. Okay, she working. Yeah, Dr. Samantha.
Oh, you serious?
No, I'm serious because you over there working, girl.
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
you working. You might need to see some of your face.
Yes, the facial expression.
We'll edit all of this out. But Dr. Samantha,
Yeah, so you can be on that mic on that.
But what bothered
that's
me
how, like,
about it,
yeah.
because she even mentioned, you're upset because I have a boundary. That's what she was basically saying in a text, and I'm like, is this a boundary? This is like, I was confused.
The clarity is the piece where I think we miss when it comes to any relationship, intimate or otherwise. That we have to recognize that when people say boundaries, you are putting up a standard, right? And then it's almost like giving them permission to be like, oh, your standard, I don't like your standards. So we're gonna call this whatever. We're gonna exit. But then it's also one of those things where how much can somebody be okay with respecting, right? And no one knows what respect looks like until it hits them in the face. Right? And then even then it's hurtful. So I can tell it really still resonates with you that she did that to you, because you still want to be a part of the relationship. And did she even mention that in anything? Did she even say, hey, I feel the same way? Or
Not that she felt the same way. I mean, she I don't know. It's like we talk. I listened to what she had to say. In my mind, I was still smelling bullshit.
Right.
But
did you
it was just one of those things, and because my friends, I never want to see them hurt or upset about something that I did. So I'm okay. I will apologize, even if I don't even understand what the hell I'm apologizing for. I will still do it because I don't want to.
You want the peace.
I want the peace, and I want my girl back. Like,
right.
I want us to.
You guys share something to
Yes.
have someone in that long a relationship. I can see where that means a lot to you. And the fact that within 2 weeks over some weird misunderstanding, you don't have her there. It's definitely hurting.
So do you think it was the fact that maybe she didn't know about the Battle of the Bands at first, and then she felt like it was behind my back? You know what I'm saying? Or be like, hey,
it was
girl.
all on Instagram. So
But I'm saying, versus saying in the beginning, hey, me and Cuz about to go to the Battle of Bands. You gonna be out of town, so that's what we're gonna be doing. You know, some people like to have the information up front.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So because she didn't get it up front and the incident already happened, then it seemed like it was like
behind
the behind the scenes type situation. Because I'm not gonna lie, anybody.
valid.
I mean, let's flag off the plate. Anybody, me and Ray hanging out, this, that, and the other, me, you, and Ray hanging out. Then all of a sudden, I hear Ray and Shay hanging out. What
But what about me?
Like, when did y'all hook up? I didn't even know y'all had each other's phone numbers.
Right now?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? So then the curiosity factor that you didn't even know that relationship started forming outside of that, then it's kind of like,
But then that's when you ask what you need.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's when you need to ask. And I think what we have in this society is we're so afraid because I feel like you're a people pleaser. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it fair to say?
See, yeah.
Yeah. And it's okay because it's one of those things where you understand that people's feelings are valid and you recognize that you want to maintain that, right? You want them to know that you cherish what they think, what they feel. But what about you? You left yourself out. And so it's got to be a point when we are recognizing to be okay with saying our truth and having tact, which is what we talked about before.
Right.
It's okay to say your truth. Like, man, this really hurts that you said that to me. I'm not quite understanding what you need. Tell me what you need to make this better. Right? You're putting in her court. So at that point, it's not you guys going back with the facts because no one's listening to the facts. You know, honestly, you doing your page, she's doing her page, and y'all.
So should they have called each other? Like, I tell my husband this all the time. I hate when it's a situation. Don't text me. Because if I'm in a certain mood at the time that I receive the text, I'm going to read it the way according to my mood. You know what I'm saying? So when it's something important, and I tell my son this all the time, do not text when it's something important. Certain things respectfully I need to hear your voice. I need to hear your emotion behind what you're saying to me. So that way, even if I'm feeling some kind of offense, I can hear how this hurts you or you're feeling some type of way about what I said.
Or just take a step back.
Yeah, so I can address it.
So if you call me, I'm probably not going to pick up. But that's okay.
Well,
sometimes I don't like to talk to people sometimes.
What?
It's okay. It's okay. I don't like talking to people. I'm just like, But it's not like I'm trying to be mean. It's just I don't want to talk to you. But
an extrovert like me would think that you're mean.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd
be like, then why didn't you
But I would want you to express that. I think you're being mean. I'm like, oh, boo, that's not it. I just don't like talking to people. I love you though. Like, you would give me a chance.
Why you pick up the phone?
We can do this all day.
Right.
No, but the point is that I need clarity. You clarified. You like that hurt me. then you're like, what can we do to talk about this? Versus like, well, I think she did this, or yeah, she might have. A lot of the times we just have to be like, look, I'm gonna take a step back, and I'm gonna text you back, and like, hey, can we talk? Or hey, this is what I felt. And one of the things that I teach a lot in my my sessions with families and couples and kids in general is if you approach it in a way that's all about you, as in, I feel that you were trying to hurt me, or like I feel like this was hurtful, this is coming from you, this is I statements. That puts aside the assumption that you're trying to dump everything on them. Like, you did this. No, that's not what I was trying. Like what you said, you think you're trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean.
Right.
I will put up the defense. I ain't trying to be mean.
Right.
But that's not the case. So if you're like, hey, I feel when you didn't answer the phone, you like, I was being avoided.
Yes.
Then I can be like, oh, no, that's not what I was doing. I just don't want to talk to anybody right now.
I probably would have used another word. I'd probably be like, girl, you being childish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see, that's how fights start.
Right.
But that's the point.
Because even that word childish is a trigger for some people. Like, what you mean I'm being childish? So then all that goes out the door instead of me saying, you know what, that really hurt my feelings that you didn't answer the phone.
But then pick out those, like, your trigger. I think you even have to mention that. Like, when you had mentioned that you said something and you kind of got upset with that, I will pull that out. I don't like how you said this right here. Like, what did you mean by that? Or can you expand a little bit?
Right.
Because that hurt me. So that they can recognize, like, oh, shoot.
Because then really what ended up happening too, lost in the sauce. Because once you said, I'm not one of your students, teacher, da-da-da, then it's like, okay, now we going to talk about that. Oh, so now you trying to be petty. And so then the whole message of what you were talking about just went out the door. Because then now you coming for me. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, teacher being petty.
Oh,
so,
teacher.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So then all that. So then the whole issue in the first place was, friend, you know what? I should have communicated that me and Cuz was going to the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where she feels like the trust bond got broken.
But she didn't bring that up, though.
And then when I think about it,
but even
leading up to that week, though, I remember, because I've been chasing this girl all summer, and I had to tell myself I got to stop. That leading up to that week, I did not hear from her. I was calling, I would text, and she knows that. All my friends know, I will blow up your phone. I will be at your door.
You are that friend. Oh.
I am that friend. So if I can't get in contact with you to tell you the plans or what's going on, when will you know?
Oh, because she already knew. She found out, that's why she was avoiding.
But she just found out, though. This happened in August. We're in October.
No, what I'm saying, you don't think that cousin told her before that?
I don't know.
I think he did. That's why she avoided it all week. Because then if you're my friend, like, when I text Ray last night, and I was like, okay, I woke up and I was like, what the hell? This girl ain't calling me back. What the hell? Something must be wrong. Then I was like, I said, I'm not texting her again. I'm like, Ray, I'm calling. You know what I'm saying? Because we know once we call each other, if we miss the call, sooner or later, we're going to call back in the same day or we're going to respond.
Great understand. Is that something you guys established, though?
No, it was just...
It's like an unwritten...
Yeah, it was unwritten. You know, like...
Okay.
You know, certain people, when you see they... Like your mama call you know you're going to call her back. You know, so it's like, this my girl. So obviously when we call each other, it's something.
It's
so
for a reason. We ain't calling for no foolishness.
Oh,
we call each other with purpose.
Oh,
yeah.
So then we start playing phone tag.
Exactly. So if your friend, quote unquote, sees that you've been calling and reaching out all week and she did not respond, she already knew what it was. Right. You know, we could be investigators on the situation because any other time she would have answered it. So she already knew what it was. Right. Oh, now she want to call me because it's about to come up.
But it's
I'm
so
not answering her.
But it's so important though that we don't speculate. I think we tend to get into this mode where we're trying to read minds, and I will absolutely never know what's on your mind, even if it's obvious. But my obvious is not your obvious,
right?
So for her, maybe she did not know, right? And for her, it was this. Oh, she should obviously know not to mess with my family. But you're like, that's not obvious.
Right.
Because she explained to me. She said, well, this is a boundary for everybody.
No, it's not.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, for her, that boundary is like maybe something that's cultural for her. That's just something that's in her family.
Yeah.
But not recognizing not everybody has the same boundary.
Absolutely.
But she doesn't recognize that.
When I talked to her on the phone, because she relayed a situation, I guess, that happened with her family and why she keep the people separate.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm just like, so you bring in your trauma with your family and put it in our friendship. I have never done that to you. And I was explaining that to her. I'm like, I get that. Okay, that's what you got to do in your family. Me and my family, everybody knows me across the board. Like, I'm super authentic. Everybody knows that. I don't have to be one way with my cousin and be a different way with my friend and spill some tea with one cousin and maybe drop some juice with the other, afraid that it's going to mix and spoil. Like, we don't do that. Everybody knows what I need them to know.
But you said it. You said it's just like even with relationships. You had a bad relationship with one man, and what the next man you're gonna be looking like, oh yeah, he probably gonna do the same thing as the other one. Because you're bringing the package, the baggage over into, because we all think that this happens in relationships, but friendships are the same relationship as well. So if my friend cheated on with my man, slept with my man. Then every friend after that, I'm going to be looking at them side-eye like, are you going to be that hooker that did the same thing to me? You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be bringing that baggage. So if it's a trauma, it doesn't matter if it's a friendship, relationship, whatever. We're still going to bring that over into our next relationship. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, people just need to give grace. In the sense of, if I don't know that was a damn trigger for you, let's discuss and move. You know, don't be sitting here like carrying it to the mountaintop when all it needed was just a, hey, you know what? In the future, this, this is a sore subject for me. Can you either let's be inclusive of when we all hang out. I would rather for us to all hang out together. Or if y'all gonna do something separate, just keep me in the loop so I won't feel like something's happening behind my back. Because it might have been something in the past that was happening to her while she had such a trigger about it. You know what I'm saying?
And I can respect that. I mean, it's okay.
We have to be able to talk about it.
Yes, and something like this, because I let her know, taking it back to school. Because last time I checked, the words when she said, "I am not comfortable with XYZ," not is a negative connotation.
Yeah, for you.
Like
that makes sense.
If we're, when you think about that. So I'm like, I told her, I said, if you're going to say something to me with a negative connotation, something like that you're uncomfortable with, you have to call me. You know you can call me FaceTime. And the sad thing is, we was FaceTiming the day before.
Yeah.
About that person feeling it's hard
but
for
she
her
wasn't comfortable
to get that. And
people hide behind the text all day.
Oh gosh.
They hide. It's easier.
Thugging.
Thumb thugging.
They'll say, they will have all kind of courage to say whatever they want to say because they know good and damn well they will not say it in your face.
Right.
It's thumb thugging.
Yeah. I mean, and even I'll say me and my husband that last week, man. I thought we was gonna be on Skid freaking Row, y'all. Like Skid Row, because he put a text in, and I responded, and then he just went the whole other left field. I said, where did this come from, or whatever? Well, you said, I said, go back to the text. I said, show me where I said that at.
We read differently.
And then he said, well, you said it in the past. I said, but I didn't say it today. Don't go off of what I said in the past. Go off of the facts of what did I put in there. So you have those kind of people also that their triggers is from things that happened in the past, even though you didn't even say it. But they are going to read into it like it's the law. So no.
The hands down then, this is what I surmise just from what you had mentioned. She does not respect boundaries. So the reason I'm flipping that way is because boundaries are our personal no's. What is our no, this is hands down I'm not going to do. Control means that everything around me, I need to make sure it's falling in line. But that's not a boundary. What she mentioned, it sounds more like a control.
And that's what I feared. I was like, what is going on?
Because it's, I don't want you to do, so it's almost like telling you what you can and cannot do.
Like a child.
Exactly. And that's exactly what you took it as, right? And that's the difference right there. And that's what people don't recognize, is that there's a difference between boundaries and like that control aspect of my environment, which I work with children who try to control their environment with the screaming and the tantrum. But we teach them communication. We teach them, yes, you can be angry, but you have to tell somebody what you are feeling and experiencing, because I don't know why you're screaming. I have kids that are like, they're screaming and hollering and they just want a glass of water. I don't know you need water. You have to tell me you're thirsty. So use your words. I need water. Boom. I got you. Okay? Now, I needed you to give me water. I did not know you needed water, so now we button heads and you don't like me. It's cool, whatever. But that's the thing is that, so you have to probably recognize that she doesn't respect your boundaries. So if anything, your boundaries are in violation. So how do you place boundaries so that you can also have her recognize that this is not okay for me to be talked down as someone. I'm a grown woman. We've known each other for this many years. My boundary is you either have to talk to me or don't talk to me at all.
I think that word too is a trigger for a lot of people when it's I'm a grown man.
Yes.
I'm a grown woman. And in our culture, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? So then the I'm grown just goes out the window again because it's kind of like, oh shit, and now it's like, it's more of an attack, like I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we don't have to state the obvious, I'm grown, and I know you're grown, so why are we saying that we grown? You know what I'm saying? So then it becomes this whole distorted thing, then the whole message gets lost in the sauce again because we use that word, I'm grown. You know? So then it's almost like, then that's a trigger. You know, instead of just saying, "Girl, you know, we've been friends for too daggone long for us to be doing this." That could resonate more than saying I'm grown, right? Because then I'm grown. It sounds like, okay, we about to go.
But then I want to come back to you on that. Okay, if you know what your trigger is, there's got to be a point where you know how to control your own triggers.
Sure.
So if someone is triggering you, you should be able to take a step back. So, okay, she said that word. I don't like that word. What's a better way for me to communicate?
Right.
That this is triggering. Right. So that there isn't but you're recognizing your own, what that feeling is putting in your spirit, right? But then that's where it comes in. It's like, are we going to go tit for tat, or we're going to be like, okay, ooh, I didn't like that. That hurt. Give me a minute. I don't want to come back at you when I'm feeling this way.
Right.
And that's what I teach all my families and my kids, everyone that I work with. I'm like, sometimes in our heat of the moment, we have to step back. And we have to tell them, I need a minute, just 1 minute, and I will promise I'll get back to you on this.
What that man said, right? At the comedy show, when somebody says something negative about you, and you respond in a negative way, it's because you've now owned what they said about you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. I said that was so profound at a comedy show. We got that. We got good word. He was like, so when people say something that you don't like, you are offended because you didn't own what they said. So if I say you ugly or whatever, then if you respond back to me, then you actually think you're ugly.
Exactly. And in the same token, he flipped it. He said just like a group full of women walking by, and you probably talking to the prettiest thing in that group of women. So you say, hey, beautiful. But the ugliest one in the bunch turn around and say, hey. It's like she knows and she feels that she is the most beautiful thing, and you can't tell her no different. So he flipped it. I thought that was very clever.
Yes.
Even when you own it, or when you just so your self-esteem is just so on point, and can't nobody tell you nothing, and it's a positive affirmation for yourself to say, oh, he's clearly talking to me because I'm the most beautiful thing, and you over there look like a mud duck, but you can't tell her no different.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Shouts out to D. Ray. That was D. Ray, baby.
So I mean that's the thing, and I mean relationships. Period.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it's friendship, relationships, or whatever, it's hard to know what a boundary is until something happens.
Yeah.
That's what people don't realize. I can't set a damn boundary until I experience something to set the boundary for.
Because even with what she just said with how I displayed a boundary with her, saying, hey, this is negative.
Yes.
You should call me.
Right.
I didn't even realize that was a boundary. I just thought that was something we all, I guess maybe universally, as friends.
Texting. And just waited on that call because you set your boundary and you got to stand by it.
Right.
Very true.
Okay. Going back and back and forth.
And I was reactive in this situation because even Mom, she was like, TT, you should have called her. I said, no, I'm not the one with the problem. She got a problem with me. She needs to call me. Right. Call me. Right. Like, we was, I was about to get into it with Mama, too. I love you.
That's called in your feelings, TT.
Yeah.
That's called in your feelings.
So, one value lesson, when we're emotional about a thing, we should not address the thing.
Okay. Just sit back for a few, or even just tell them if you need a moment, take that moment. I do that a lot with my baby daddy. Shout out to my baby daddy. So I need to sit back because I will be reactive.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But then I'll say things I don't. I mean it. No, I mean it. But it's not what I need to be saying.
Right. In that form.
Exactly. In that form.
Yes.
So, I mean, in all relationships, like you said, just find out where your boundary is. Say it. You did perfectly. That was perfect. You said it. But then they got to sit on it. Now you got to be like, all right, I told her what I needed. She's not following through. Bet.
So she started triggering you.
Like,
Yeah.
She did, but it's cool. We talked on the phone. I'm good, but I ain't calling her no more. And I ain't hanging out with the family no more. Like, a boundary for me now.
Oh,
when she have stuff, it's your cousins and them gonna be there. Oh, I don't want to go.
Why?
Because it might be a problem. I don't want no problems, man.
But then if it was a problem, then I wouldn't invite you.
No, look,
You know
the
what I
way
mean?
this happened, it's like, your family cool, but y'all not that cool. Like, if you're gonna start side-eyeing if we, in the kitchen having a drink or something together, like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
So then, wouldn't it be smart to say, if this was a situation, let's clear the air before we get back into the same circle. So then that way it won't be no side eye and this and other. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. If this is a valued friendship, then let's get to the meat and potatoes, because I want everybody to be clear and I want the palate to be clean.
But toxic
because,
is toxic.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's worth it, you
absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
Again, because I've been meditating about for the past 5 years, just the little things that have sparked in our relationship, and I'm like, to one of my friends told me this. She said, TT, you need to protect your peace at all costs. You're on this journey. She might have to get out on the passenger side. I know you want her right there with you, but sometimes she gonna have to get her own luggage, get her own bag, get her own car, and meet you where you at, because right now clearly it's like y'all are not aligned. If she's willing to,
to go that way,
that route,
that might be another topic for a discussion. Like when it's ready, when we gotta let go.
Yes.
When you let go of a friendship that you've had for how many years, decades.
Yes.
And that's a hard transition in itself, right? But we have to recognize that not everyone is a part of our journey.
Right.
Sometimes they have to stop there. And then we are trying so hard to hold on to them, not realizing, I was like, hey, I can't get you to the next level with these chicks who probably got more for you. A good friend who's going to build you up and take you to another level, but you keep holding on to this one. So, okay, you good.
I mean, they did say, in good friendships, it's the ones that want to bring you up. Not the ones that's like either mad that you're going up and want to keep you right here. And they're steady excelling, Right. I'm the type of friend, if I'm going up, you coming with me.
Yes.
We rolling together.
Whether you like it or not. Come on.
Let's go, because that's just my personality. It's always like, hey man, I heard about a thing, let's do it, Just like when you asked me how this podcast come up, I was like, God told me in the salon, hey, you need to start a podcast. Hey, you need to call Ray and let's get to it. Ray, I did popped in my head, let's go, let's do it, we're gonna do it, friend, you down? And it was kind of like,
and then here I go, Kay, I got so much going on. I was gonna start writing again and editing, and okay. So then, what do you want to do first? And then here we go to planning. She already knew. She suckered me in, and I'm here, and I love it. And I love it though. I'm like, Ray, I got these kids. I got a college. I got what was my saying last year? I got one graduating and one coming out. Yeah. One going in college, one coming out.
Right.
I don't know. And here we are, almost a year in. We doing this thing.
Yes.
And it's
so
great.
Sometimes people in relationships, if it's growth, they're gonna push you outside your boundaries to better your situation, to better yourself as a person, and all of that. And sometimes we don't see it while it's happening.
Yeah.
But because I had this little friend. I'm like, you get on my goddamn shit. But then everything that they would say to me was for excelling. Even though it was uncomfortable for me and I didn't like it, because I'm like, shut the hell up. Following the path, it excelled me. And that's what really true friendship is. You know what I'm saying? Being able to be uncomfortable in situations that you know will propel you forward. Right. And and of course deliverance is everything.
Absolutely.
If you talking to me crazy, then that might not work out too much.
Right.
But if it's in love, we're gonna be able to receive that.
Yes.
If
Absolutely. It's said in love. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where the delivery not only is important, but how you're sending the message, which I know we talked about before, that you have to be mindful about what's coming out of your mouth. Right. Like, just because you can say it and it's the truth to you doesn't mean that it's okay to say. Right. And if you are my true friend, you're going to recognize that. You're going to give me this might hurt a little bit, but let me tell you something. But you're giving them like almost a foreshadow.
Yes.
Because you're protecting them.
Yes.
Right? But that's when we have to recognize, okay, this relationship, this friendship, this whatever is outgrown.
So should we say, like, if we know it's a thing in a relationship, when is, because that's the next issue, when is the best time to bring this up? Is it when the situation is happening right now, or after the dust has settled and be like, hey, you know what, let's go out to dinner, let's have some cocktails, and so we could be really relaxed and transparent. And you know what? Throughout the course of, there was a couple of things that kind of nudged me a little bit that you never knew bothered me.
Right.
So can I express that to you now, you know?
Right.
Or in the heat of the moment, you know? In the heat of the moment, it's always going to carry this tone and this energy, you know? But later on, once you got through it, because sometimes we be heated, and then after we calm down, it's like, you know, you know? But still, but you know, it's something you probably do need to address at a different time. That way, when I'm saying it to you, I'm saying it in love and not in...
I'm trying to make you mad.
You're my goddamn friend, you know, and you know, XYZ. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's being that transparency, like, wholeheartedly. Everybody hears the heart. Nobody hears the accusations.
Yeah. So going back to what you said, like is there the timestamp? Like when? Because listen, friends, y'all got a week with me. When something go down, you got a week, 7 days. Okay,
you got a 7 day.
Listen, don't wait 6 months.
Right.
3 months. Like, don't do that.
No,
I need to know this. For me, the sooner the better. And, you know, as long as we both calm, cool, and collected, I can receive whatever, you know, is coming. Even on the phone with her. I was willing to receive, even though I was still reading through the bullshit. I was able to receive what she was saying, because clearly she has some things going on that had nothing to do with this whole situation right here. It had nothing to do with me, thank God. But, you know, I hate that it transpired to this, because we both said some mean things to each other, you know? But, you know, just let it go. Let it give it to God and be okay.
So would you say, like, in new friendships, or even the ones that you have, that you need to say in the beginning, hey, for me, you got a 7 day window. If you got something going on with me, let me know up front. You know what I'm saying? So is that something moving forward that you should start addressing?
I could address that.
You know what I'm saying?
Honestly,
like, if you already know.
In any relationship, there should be a level of safety. You make me feel safe. I'm going to tell you what I feel and I need, and I know you're going to receive it. And I know that I can be my authentic. I can bare my soul and know that you're not going to go... Because there was actually a study done on shame and guilt by a professor here in not here, I think she's in Austin. No, she's in Houston, University of Houston, Dr. Brene Brown. She did an actual study on shame, and she's recognized that there are people that when you are shaming them, there is a visual, reacting physically. But you know those safe people. Someone has that one person where you can literally spit ugly cry, and they're just like, I got you. I got you. Oh, you keep messing and going back to your ex who you know ain't good for you. Girl, I still love you. I ain't gonna do that to you.
You're my person.
You have your person, exactly what it is. You have your person.
I thought I was that person for her, because what you just mentioned, all not crying ugly. Throughout her divorce, I was there. She was on my couch.
How about you? Did you ever have that reciprocated for you?
Well, I'm not married.
It
so
sounds
I ain't
like
like, I mean,
but
I ain't got no divorce.
I mean,
So see, that's the part. Like, if she can't reciprocate for that for you, then how much authenticity is that really? You were giving it, but you weren't getting it back, which means there's a deficit.
Yeah.
And you're pretty much trying to give her, like, all this love and feeling, and you in the negative.
Yeah, that's literally what I was feeling like. And it's like, TT, you got to draw back. Do what your other friend said. Protect your peace. And if that means you got to kind of let stuff, you know, let go for a little while, it's okay. Because the longer, the tighter you pull on it, you're trying to hold on, you're going to hurt yourself.
I feel it's a rarity.
It's
a rarity that that you, whether it's in your relationships, marriage, or friendships, that I got you and they got you on the same level. When I say that's a rarity, it's always one that's going to be more giving and more got your back than the other. You know what I'm saying? So when you do find that diamond in the rough, whether it's in your friendships, relationship, then that's my ride or die. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say everybody's my ride or die. I might be having about 3, a high 3. You know what I'm saying? Outside of family. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, then no, we friends. Right. But my ride or dies, I know you gonna go for me like I go for you. Right. And there's no question. Friendship is when even in the dark, you got my back.
Yeah. And
Not-
all
not-
relationships, yeah.
We friends, but then if she start talking about me, you be like, girl, yeah. And then when she do this and when she do that, no, then you ain't my ride or die then. You know, we just friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a difference.
I have a comment. This is Rachel off screen. So no, I know what I tend to do, and I try to teach my girls too. A lot of times when there's like a little spat, and you know that that friend was supposed to be that ride or die for you, so you thought. I go to digging. Well, she is going through something. Her son did just drop out of high school. You know, and I start thinking, this can't be personal because I know I'm being the friend that I'm supposed to be. This has to be something that they're going through. So once I start, my little brain starts breaking it down, and I'm like, you know what? She don't like it at home. Her mama mean to her. Or this happened. She just lost her job. This has nothing to do with me. So I just try to make sure that I'm there for them in the capacity that they need. But again, like Kay said, if this is like consistent behavior, that's another problem. But if it's like, oh, she ain't never talked to me like that before, what's going on?
Right.
Maybe I need to come at her a different way. Friend, you want to go get some coffee? Is there something wrong? Because I know what I did, what you said I did last week or whatever. It wasn't that big of a deal. Now we got this back. What is really going on? What's the, let's dig. Is something else that you want to talk about? And then 9 times out of 10, yeah, you right. Because you don't really have, some people don't have those people to vent on and to unload on. You know, I'm not saying that makes it right. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, because your feelings are valid. But I like to remove myself out of the situation sometimes and see what the bigger picture is, because 90% of the time it's probably something else going on in that. Even with clients, Kay, we have to, this part ain't right. I just don't like, girl, there ain't nothing wrong with this hairstyle. Your man just left you. Just come on, let's just be real. Because you get the same hairstyle for the past 20 years, using the same goddamn hairstyle. It is nothing wrong with this part.
Right.
What's really going on? Girl, you right. I'd have lost my job. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
So is that healthy thinking, Dr. Smith?
No, that's empathy. It's called empathy. It's called sitting outside yourself and recognizing others' emotions.
Yeah.
And being able to just like, okay, maybe it's not, it's not me. And then asking that question. But then it becomes about, you, if you start reacting in your own certain way, right?
That's
But but there's got to be a point when you're not a doormat. So are you empathetic or are you just being a doormat? So you have to recognize where you sit so that you don't become this constant revolving door of people talking to you any type of way and you are not even respecting your own boundaries.
So, want to call one more person to the mic. Shay. Off screen here. Because you were sharing earlier about a relationship situation that a lot of homegirls, probably and homeboys too, go through, and it kind of compromised your friendship. So you want to share that with us?
I was with a friend. We was friends for a while. We was even roommates. That's how close we were. And she lost her job at one point. She became a stripper. I took her to the club. I even supported her as a stripper, going there, to support her so she could still pay her bills and stuff. And my mom turned her on to accounting, schooling. She started going to school for accounting, and she met all these new friends. She forgot about me. You know what I'm saying? So she would invite me to stuff, but I wouldn't feel comfortable being around her, because you met these new friends and you're giving information to these new friends, and you're leaving me out. So I'm feeling a certain type of way. So I start backing up from her. And then she ended up meeting this guy.
But let me stop right there. But if she was including you,
she wasn't really including me.
You think she was just doing
She just invited me, y'all have all your stuff. You just invite me, just invite me. And to a point, I just said, you know what? I don't feel comfortable because your new friend's not trying to be friends with your old friend. Because I was here before them. Do they know you were doing the things that you were doing before you came to where you're at this point in life right now? No. But that's not a secret that I'm going to put out there for you, because that's none of their business. I'm your true friend, because they were there when you got started. I was there from the beginning. I was there when you didn't have anything. I was there when you was getting beat up on. I was there when you was having black eyes,
So, but Shay, is it fair to say that we all can still be friends? I mean, did you go out with her and then when you got there you felt uncomfortable, or did you just never blended it? Did you ever go out to anything?
They would have parties and stuff. Only thing she invited me to was the baby shower.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah. The baby shower. But when I would look on Instagram, she put out with her new friends. She opened a business with her new friends. Her new friends was in her wedding. I'm your old friend. I felt like I should have been part of your wedding, not a guest.
Yeah.
So when I was a guest, I showed up. But I didn't bring a gift, you know. I went there and ate the food and I left.
Right.
You didn't get a chance to see me after it. But
Did
I
you
let
t-
you know
but
I
did
was
you
there
tell her
because I
how you
made
felt,
sure
though?
I sat on the end.
Did you tell her how you felt?
No, because we never spoke after that. Because the husband that you were marrying before you got to that point, I caught him in Marshall's Home Goods with another female. I had you on speaker. I thought I was on a friendship thing. That's what I thought I was on. This is my girlfriend. Her man got caught cheating. I'm finna call you. I'm finna put him on blast, you know? And I had my phone in the pocket and I walked up to him. Hey, Marcus, how you doing? You don't remember him? I'm Lorraine's friend, you know? Right. Oh, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. She's like, oh, okay. And she listening. You hearing this?
Yeah.
But he walked out, called her, said whatever he had to say to her. He ended that friendship for us. Because she no longer called me. She no longer contacted me. She no longer nothing. Only thing I got was from her, an invite to her wedding. You got all your guests, all your new friends, everybody.
Even
and then
when
when
you
you
was
invited
ride or die,
me,
for
I
real.
felt some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't want to go, but I'm going to be a bigger person. I'm going to go ahead and show up. I'll let you know I'm going to show up for you. But I showed up, but I left after that.
Right.
So at this point, when I called her husband 2 weeks ago in Burlington off of Westheimer with doing the same thing, pushing a basket, shopping at Home Goods with another female, I looked at him, turned my head, and act like I didn't know him. Because I don't care at this point.
Right.
When I told you as a friend, you didn't value that.
Right.
But so why would I tell you now?
Right.
But I did friend request and ask her, hey, how you doing? I wanted to see were you guys still married. And they were still married. So he's still cheating.
With the same girl.
I don't know if it's the same woman or not. It's probably a different woman.
Right.
You know, so he gave her all this woo, 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 woo. And that was my friend, and you knew I be driving her to jail. She knew that. She's like, oh, I know that. Okay, well, if you know that, why he had to hide it? Why he stepped outside and had to call you?
Right.
In ASAP.
Right.
From the other woman. No, you didn't know that. You lied. He just talked you into that. And he talked you out of friendship with me. Because I'm that friend that if I see something, I'm going to say something.
Right.
You know?
I mean, and it that hurts.
Yeah.
Especially when you know you've been riding for somebody, and then all of a sudden it's like the new kids on the block, and it's like, oh, so what happened to us? I mean, and there's no way that you can't feel some type of way about that, because I would, you know what I mean? I think that happened to me on a couple of occasions, whereas I was there, you know what I'm saying? And then, now you have selective amnesia? Yeah. Bet.
Yeah.
Because as you go up, you must come back down. And I'm still going to be here, but I'm going to remember you because I'm going to remember you in a different light now, you know? And, you know, I don't know if do males go through that, Jonathan? I mean, yeah, all the stuff that we've been talking about. You know, with the friendships and the boundaries. Do men have boundaries?
Not really. I mean, that's one thing I've never really understood. Like, sometimes girls will have friends that they don't like, but they have them around. I just hang with my boys that I like. If I don't like you, I'm done.
No.
Not even that weak policy. It's just like, why am I going to be around somebody I don't like? Sometimes people will use it as a crutch because they got their own issues that they're dealing with. So they're like bullying this other person.
It
But
can
then they
be.
say like, oh,
That's
we're
a good
friends.
one.
You know, like that kind of doormat kind of personality.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, I'm like, nah, I got a short life. I just want to be around people that are going to bring me up. I want people around me so I can bring everybody up.
Right.
Not to bring people down.
Exactly.
That's what I mean, because men do have a different cut and dry. When we're emotional, so we be making excuses. Oh, that's my friend. We've been friends since kindergarten, you know. And although she a hot mess, we still be like, but she's still been my friend since kindergarten. So let's just keep the friendship, even though it's toxic.
It is, yeah.
So I don't know why we do that, but yeah, I see my husband. He cut people off in a minute. I don't know.
I learned to do that though.
And he be like, I'm not gonna be his friend no more. And I'll be like, but y'all been friends for years. He said, it's not it's not with a standard that I want, so I'm done. And I'm like, do y'all make the announcement or you just don't call no more? Like, how does that work? You know, chopping block done.
It's a subtle thing where like if you don't hear from me anymore, or if it's where it gets brought up, we're like, yeah, bro, like we'll put it out there. Like, well, you did this, man. Why am I gonna hang out with you?
Right.
That's it.
Damn.
That's all that needed to be said.
Men are so different.
Yeah.
I know. I need to learn some of that. You know, because we're emotional, we forgive. You know,
Too
and we
easily.
want that. We want the friendships. What is that? Why?
We want that girls trip.
Huh?
That girls trip and having fun and
Right.
all your lady
Lord.
friends with you, and you feel in love by just your lady friends. You know,
Right.
you want that love from sisterhood because
Yeah.
I don't have sisters, so I'm lacking sisterhood.
Right.
Yeah.
That's valid.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is that
That's real good. Yeah,
Oh, God.
okay.
Yes. That's what it is.
Well, you
Fact
have a new
checker.
sister because I don't have siblings either.
Thank
So
you. So
Oh,
fact
so
checker.
she's the only child. You're the only child.
yes,
Yes.
Oh, see, and I'm the only girl.
It hits different when you're the only child.
Fact checker. We do have a live fact checker in the house. Dr. Samantha, could you please close us out with some, I don't know if you, whatever you think is best, if how to identify control versus boundary setting,
Right.
or how to set boundaries, or what's the healthy way?
So, in a nutshell, when it comes to taking care of yourself and recognizing toxic versus like whatever, just recognize that your boundary is something that you want and you're setting for yourself that this is a no for me, right? That trigger, whatever that word is, don't say that to me, but let me tell you why. Control is when somebody's trying to take that entire environment and make it their own, right? And then recognizing that, hey, I can only deal with so much, but being able to articulate that. And it's hard. But I think at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to push the pause button or the end button. But just recognize what you're willing to lose. What are you willing to accept? And then kind of go from there. If you can continue with the toxicity of what your friend is doing, I wish you luck. Go ahead.
Right.
But if you were like, nah, I think I'm in a different decade of my life. Let me do something different.
I love what you just said. I love what you just said. You set the boundary and explain why. Because sometimes we'll set a boundary and it's like, well, I don't understand. I think when understanding is there for the reasons why that triggers you or why that hurts you or whatever, then people could better connect.
Understand.
Yeah. Instead of just don't do that.
And some people don't, so it's okay if they don't get it.
Right. Because tell me don't do that. I'm a why. Like, why? You know what you say? I don't like that. Why? You know? Then I could really connect with your why more so than just you saying, just don't do that.
Right.
Because then I'm like, just don't do that. I don't get
It's
it.
a
Like,
learning process.
then it's like, I'm not a kid. What you mean just don't do that? Like, I need
We're
an
gonna bring this
explanation.
back. We're gonna bring this back.
Teacher. I'm not your student, teacher.
Right.
graduated.
Yeah.
With honors.
Okay.
Like, I'm telling you.
Teacher.
Right. Yes. So, yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, so if we're having any issues with friendships, control, know the difference. It's not do as I say, not as I do. Communicate.
Absolutely.
If something is valuable to you in your friendships and relationships, have that heart-to-heart discussion. Not in anger, but in a sense of hear me from my heart. So set the tone. Let's go have some cocktails, or let's go sit in the backyard, honey, or whatever your place is of zen. And, let's have that talk so we can really hear from each other's heart. Like, this is how this made me feel. You taught me that, Miss Samantha. Don't talk when you're mad.
Yeah.
Honey,
Sit back. Yeah.
this is how this makes me feel.
I'm a question because I'm a hard person that work in a prison, so I have to be stern. How do I approach a friend without being so hard and stern with them, without them thinking I'm mean or I'm saying something that was rude to them? Because my friends say that I don't have a heart. So how do I approach them? Because they say I say whatever comes to mind. Yeah, but I'm just speaking the truth. But how do I rearrange what I'm saying to them?
So for me, and then Dr. Samantha could follow up on that, learn knowing your person. You know what I'm saying? Because you have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with your kids, you don't talk the same way to both your kids.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a little more sensitive than the other.
Yeah.
So when we know our person, then I can speak to them from the heart, like, okay, this is how I'm going to have to approach this person. And this is how I'm going to have to approach this person. So if I know I want the results that I want, like I say, people can get whatever they want from people. It's all in the approach of how you do it. And then when I'm not talking to them with emotion, then I can actually speak like freely, like I'm talking to my friend or somebody that I really care about. But when that emotion is in there, oh yeah, I'm gonna spit it to you like I don't give a damn. I'm gonna say it, and I don't care how you receive it. This is it. So then that's why they say you're hard. But when you get your emotions in check, then you can take the emotion out of it and just really present the case, and knowing your person. Like I know I can't say certain things to Rae that I could say to Miss Samantha. My approach is gonna be totally different. Because I know if I talk to her like that, she's gonna be like, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? And I can say, bitch, girl, let me tell you what happened. And there was. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So it's just knowing your person,
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, that's good. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah. Knowing your person and also just knowing yourself.
Yeah.
And being okay with stepping back and then giving them like a little, hey, I'm just going to give you a little caveat. I sound mad. I'm not mad. But let me tell you. So if it's okay to tell somebody, like, give them a foreshadow. Just give them a foreshadow. Like, or even after you say it, man, I didn't mean to be mean. I know it may sound rude. That's not what I meant. And then I'm like, oh, okay,
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, it was a joy to have you, Dr. Sam.
Yes.
Once again, y'all see, I'm off camera. I had to put in there. I said, she working. She got to get in this chair. She working. And TT, thank you for being transparent and open.
Yes.
With the situation. I know you may not know it, but your situation will help a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people are in the same or similar situation or predicament with a family friend or a best friend or a cousin.
Yeah.
And you may have helped them shine the light on some things. So we appreciate you. Jonathan, we think your male input, as usual.
He said, cut them off. Just cut them off.
Oh, love that. You know the Sagittarius in us will allow us to do that.
Right.
They will cut you off.
So y'all tune in and go back and watch those episodes and get a little more learning. Dr. Sam, we would love to have you back again.
Yes.
We can kidnap you again
Yes.
on a Sunday.
Yes.
Oh,
And Shay, thank you for being transparent because, you hit on some things that are really now. A lot of people are in the now about, the friendship thing. Like, hey, we've been riding out, but then here it is. Your new path has just put me in, like you set me down like an old toy,
Yeah.
And so sometimes now the old toys are what people are buying again. You know what I'm saying? Look at Cat Patch Kid. They came back. So never, communicate. When you see the road is going down that path, like, hey friend, what are we doing here? Is this have we had our moments?
Yeah.
Is this, is this the end? I wanna know, or, whatever that is. But always communicate.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, that is it for us. Email us if you got an idea for the show. All the information will be at the end. Dr. Sam's contact information will be in the credits. Y'all keep it a buck and keep it transparent. Deuces.
All right. Great show.
If you want to be on the show or you have a show idea, email us at transparencyinthechair@outlook.com, or you can visit our website at transparencyinthechair.hair. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, but watch our full episodes on YouTube. Transparency in the Chair, y'all. Let's get transparent.
Make everything collide. Put all your stress aside and let the music take you anywhere like tide. Cause it's me they calling the real loco. Mass play when I on the floor. Calvin over and touch the toe. Everybody don't know the flow.